Hello students, your instructor here, John Mignola, with a very different kind of screencast. This one is going to be using the Adobe Kuler, Kuler, the Adobe Kuler web app, which I believe I linked earlier in the quarter. Just use this as a quick tool to demonstrate some things. So, as I was grading the week 5 discussion, I noticed that a lot of the images people would use were very bright, intense colors, and it's a very good way to start your understanding of things like complementary color schemes or triadic color schemes. But I think once you've got that, then you need to go deeper. And the way to go deeper is to not just play with the hue, which is a very important part of color theory, obviously, the hue is the color, but to play with saturation and with value. Right? Value is like the lightness, darkness. Saturation is how intense is the color or how faded out is the color. So one approach I take to color theory is three-pronged, regardless of what the colors are, because I believe more colors work together than don't, is I take a three-prong approach, and that is hot, neutral, anchor. Hot, neutral, anchor. Here's where I use it. Again, regardless of what the colors are, my hot color is going to be a bright, intense, often a warm, but it doesn't have to be, heavily saturated color. That's where all the energy in the piece comes from. And the neutral color, that's going to be faded, it'll be neutral, like it says, generally closer to like an earth tone, or just a very light, not necessarily light and bright, just lighter, softer color. And then an anchor is going to be the heavy, deep color. Often it will be saturated to add weight to it, but it doesn't have to be. It can just be a very dark, heavy color, so low on value. And I almost think that no matter what the colors you choose, this is a good approach. So here's what I'm talking about. Now I know that I have 5 colors here, but for now I'm just going to focus on 3. What's really great about this Adobe Kuler web app is some terms you should be familiar with now: analogous, monochromatic, triadic, complementary, compound, which is somewhat like a split complementary. And then it has, different things like this. So there's just different shades of the same color. Kind of like when you made your scales earlier in the quarter. But let's say I went with I'll use a complementary color scheme to keep this simple. So what's cool on this thing, if I slide this around, my base color is going to be the middle here. Slide this around, let's say go to a very yellow color, and then notice that it'll make blue complements for it. So that's always nice. Now, what I like about this Adobe Kuler web app is, even though I'm using pretty saturated colors, in other words, colors that are very close to the outside of this image, I still get different tones. So I don't just have blue, I have a lighter blue and a deeper blue. I don't have gold, I have a bright gold and kind of like a dirty gold. So I can play with this now and I'm going to hit the custom button right now and really make my hot neutral anchor that I'm talking about. So my hot, let's see, I set this as the base color. And my hot is going to be maybe this really bright kind of orangey yellow color. Good. Neutral, and again I want to kind of stay within this complementary scheme. Maybe I want to make a neutral color. So because of this, what I'm going to do is just take this one and bring it closer. Oops, wrong one. Take this one, bring it closer to the middle. So with this, and maybe up the value a little bit. Alright. And maybe shift it a little bit more this way, so there's more difference between my hot and my neutral. And for my anchor, let's just say I take this one and I decide that it's going to be my anchor. Whatever the color is, I want the value to be very, very low. I want it to be a heavy color. That actually looks really good right there. Right? If I went up to saturation, I have little numbers down here: hue, saturation, value. Saturation to maybe something like 100. And now it's a very deep color. This adds to my anchor. And because of complementary, I have these other two to go along with. And as far as I'm concerned, at this point, these are just gravy, because I already have my hot, neutral anchor set up. I can maybe make this one even a little bit darker. So I have a color of flare, and I like this blue. I would leave it there. And this one, I would probably go more toward a cyan color, just to add in something. And what I want to watch out for is tone too. So I don't want it too light and be like this, or too bright and be like this, or too dark to be like this. So now what I have here is a nice, rich color scheme that I can play with. Hot, neutral, ink.